on trade. And today in studio we'll be talking to one of the people that are from Protrack Anti-Poaching unit, and it's going to be a conversation that we have via Zoom.
So we're talking to Chris and Bongani. Today we're going to be telling us a little bit more what Protrack Rhino or Anti-Poaching rather unit is all about. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you.
So let's just get into it. Just tell us a little bit more what Protrack Anti-Poaching unit is all about.
So we an anti-poaching unit who is compiled by guys who want to obviously conserve our nature, as well as protect our rhino, which we are dealing with at the moment. That's on very high threat. So we bring guys in and train them up so that they're capable to live and work and be surrounded by these animals in the bush all the time. And so that we can protect them and rather be with them to protect them.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, this will also include firearms training, it will also include human tracking and so on.
I wanted us to actually get into that you guys actually have a whole training session right there. We're just going to show people some of the videos of the intense training with that. So what exactly does that training entail?
So we put our guys through a 6-week training course, which they first got to apply to come and join us. They go through an extensive interview with us so that we can make sure we get the right guys to come and work in the environment. Then they join us for a 6-week training course, which is very mentally strenuous as well as physically strenuous. We put the guys through sleep deprivation. We make sure that our guys are going to be capable to live and work in the bush later on. So we teach out everything to the guys in terms of the worst case scenario. If you don't have water, if you need to make fire, if you come into contact with a poacher, if you find a spur or something that is found in the bush that shouldn't be there, what is the right way to go about doing it?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is quite a big one. But I'd like to know, since you go on the field, what have you experienced in the field, as you are mentioning that sometimes you can go into the field and find poachers. As an anti-poaching unit, what are the various things or movements that you've been coming across in the field?
So firstly, we work in teams of 2, which is how our normal units would work. To deal with poachers, poachers normally come in groups of 3 to 4 guys at a time. So for us, we would initially first call for backup and work with the way we taught into simulating. We simulate quite a lot of these scenarios so that we know exactly the right procedure to go and apprehend a poacher. It doesn't take 2 guys. It takes 2 guys to collect the information, and it takes a team to stop 4 guys at a time.
100%.
So, Bongani, just tell me, does it mean that your guys actually live in the bushes, just to make sure, just in case a poacher comes? I just really want some clarity on that.
100%, that's true. The guys sleep in the bush, they stay there. They can stay there from 16 days to 21 days in the bush. They sleep on the ground, there's animals there, there's crawlies, they stay there. That's what they taught from training.
Oh, well, one would swear that it is a military training. And I guess what you go through is military training, making sure that our species are well taken care of. But what is the significance as an anti-poaching initiative that you are running? How does it affect within the civilians that are coming in? And take me through that process.
So we take the guys on a recruitment basis to work with us and work in the bush for at least a year, so that they can experience obviously the nature and what it has to offer. It's sorry.
Yeah, it's amazing how from day 1 to the guy finishing the year and doing all the training and also going back to the community, giving back to the community. For example, we've got a small organization that's not far from where we are. We go there, we teach from those little ones from the early age, so they know and they respect and understand the perception that people also have regarding for rangers. Because now most people think that rangers are scary people and they should be scared of them. So now we go to these young people, these civilized people in the community, and we teach them and we open up to them and we teach them about these amazing animals that we have.
Now,
We're
Chris?
perceived as
Yes.
bad people, so we don't want to be seen as bad people. We're there to help the community as well.
Now, I just want us talk us through maybe the field, some of the scariest things that you've seen, because I'm sure you've had different kinds of experiences. Just tell us a little bit about those.
So myself, we got called out early in the morning at about 6 or so. We had to go through to a farm not far from here. When we got there, there was a rhino carcass seen from a few hours before. When we got there, there was obviously the rhino lying on the ground. Her calf was running around, trying to protect the mother in a way. He's dehydrated and very scared. And the mother still had blood coming from where the horn was hacked off with an axe. And really a gruesome scene, not something that somebody should really see on a daily basis.
So as I'm listening to you are painting a picture to us on what happened this morning, but how can you make sure that you apprehend all the people that are doing this thing? Because clearly they've done it a couple of hours ago. Can you get to them in that amount of space when you know that an animal is down, a rhino's down? What can you do at that given time to make sure that the suspects are apprehended?
So we do everything in our power to try and catch them before, obviously, they even think about going onto a farm. But there are cases where the guard will get around us. I mean, a poacher is a person, and people are clever, and people have ways of doing this. A poacher could be doing the same training as what we're doing with our guys. Like I say, we teach our guys to catch a poacher, you must become a poacher. You must become one with the nature and environment around you. So it takes a lot to catch at least 4 guys. It takes helicopters, dogs, people on the ground, guys in vehicles. It's a lot of guys to put together just to catch 4 guys.
Sure.
And another thing to add on that, we must also understand that these guys don't only work for themselves. They've got a person who's in charge of them. That person's got money from all the tools, and if in case maybe they get arrested, there's a possibility of that person getting a bail, and you see him on the following day or following week, and so on.
Sure. It's quite sad. I must commend you for the initiative that you are taking. But now I also want us to talk maybe more on the misconceptions that people actually have about poaching rhinos for their homes. Why do people actually go about poaching these rhinos for their homes?
So it's believed in the Asian medicinal trade that the rhino horn can cure certain things. It can cure asthma or a stomach bug or helping with a cough. But these have never been scientifically proven to help in any way. So it's old traditions that have followed through the years that we now need to teach and uplift and upskill people to change their perception and change their tradition and give them what we have now in our age and the technology we have. We don't need to take a rhino for a horn that's only going to make you say 100 tablets at a time.
Sure.
Well, Mr. Bongane, take me through the process of it being a career, because I think we have a lot of people that don't even understand about it being a career, something that you could look into, study if possible, get a degree in understanding what is happening, whether the logistics behind being an anti-poacher, is there business within it, and how can a young person or a person that is already within a working space and they love wildlife, they love rhinos but want to get involved, how can they take through processes to get involved with you guys?
It is easy. First of all, what you need as a person to come and join us, it's easy. You need discipline, self-discipline. Start from you. It starts from you because once you come here, we teach you from day one. We teach you how to make your own bed. Simple stuff like that. Just self-discipline and also training, lots of training. We do a lot of training, physical work, and also mentally-wise, you must be prepared mentally-wise. It doesn't matter. It might be a career, it might be a study. As long as you've got yourself with the right mentality, you're able to do it.
And now I just want
doing research.
Sorry. Yes,
doing
yes.
research. Do research before you get involved. Before you get into that career, you must do research. Find out more.
No, and then I just wanted to talk maybe more on the funding part as well. How do people contribute to the initiative?
So they could get hold of our Protrack Anti-Poaching unit on Facebook and all obviously the media platforms, and speak to the lady there. We try and take obviously cash funding, because cash funding is how we pay for guys to go to communities and guys to come from the communities to do our training so that we can give them work in the long run. And also we like to go and help people across the border, like the Mozambican border, where we work with another foundation called Wild and Free, uplifting communities where the poaching is necessarily the highest at the moment. So yeah, get on our Facebook page, and they'll put you in touch with the right people.
Yeah. Well, still, we are celebrating on this day. It's Rhino, and it's all about rhinos today. But what is the message that you have to say to South Africans, to people watching, to poachers? What is the importance of this day? What can they learn about it, since we all have this platform to educate ourselves and to educate the whole of Africa at this point about rhinos and anti-poaching?
It is very important that people out there, they understand that rhinos and they understand the different rhinos that we have, and they understand that what's really important that we keep them, because most of the guys locally, their parents work in the game reserves. That's how they get their income. And if we lose all of these animals, that means there's more higher rates of unemployment. And if we can keep this and keep our tourism going, this is more jobs, and the other generation that comes in, they can also get employed and understand what's happening.
If we've got nothing to show anymore, nobody's going to come and see it.
Sure.
And yeah, that's the bottom line.
We must 100%. We must also understand that if you look at the rhino itself, it's got no use in the African tradition. It's only used like abroad. So that's like taking from our own pockets, from our own dish that's placed in front of us, killing our own selves.
Sure, that is such a deep statement. I really, really felt that. Wow, if you take, then we won't have anything else to show for it. But thank you guys, thank you gentlemen for joining us today and informing us a little bit more on anti-poaching. I really think it's information we really appreciate and would have loved to hear.
Cool, thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. Now we have got a videos right there of the intensive training session. Let's just have a look at that.
After the tree.
After the tree, yeah.
Safety.
Up! Get up! Straight! Move! Oh, surprise. Down. Sit up! Sit up! Does it burn? Does it burn? Yes, does it burn? Yes, bro. You're still alive. You're still alive. Down. Up. Up. Down. Down. Up. Down. That's it. That's it.
La galera,
Intense training.
I mean,
what they're going through.
Yeah, to make sure that our rhinos are well saved. I mean, like, I really commend them for the initiative that they're taking.